So we got promoted in our first season with 3 strikers up front. How's it going, folks? Hope you're well. Welcome back to the channel. Now this is about my Twitch save, which we are doing with ACR Messina in Serie C as a start off point. But we've got promoted in our first season, which was a right result. Now, anyone who's here just for the tactic, I totally understand that. We're all looking for good tactics to get our team playing well. That tactic will be coming up shortly. But first, here's a little background of the save that we are doing on Twitch and how we've managed to get ACR Messina promoted. There is the final table for Messina from last season. You can see there we won the league by a decent amount of points, scoring a good amount of goals with a decent defensive record. We did really well considering our season preview was to finish down in 14th. No one fancied us, we had no money, but we took down the title. It was based on a hell of a start to the season. I used the friendlies at the start of the season to hone the tactic down to see if it was going to work, and it looked like it was going to. Now in Italy you start your cup campaign before the league, so again another couple of games to get our eyes in, and I thought I was onto something, and then the season started. What a start to the season. We were just winning like crazy. We only didn't win the first 2 out of our first 12 games, but as you can see from this run of results there, we actually broke a record up until this game against Avellino here of 28 games unbeaten for Messina. It was a club record. The run continued through the season, a couple of defeats here and there, but we did more than enough to get us promoted, an unfancied team, up into Serie B for next season. If you haven't seen us on Twitch, get on over there and follow the progress. Now this is Messina. You can see the stadium is a thing of beauty. I love Italian stadiums like that. It's gorgeous. The kits are beautiful, made personally for us from FM Custom Kits. He's made them kits. They are a thing of beauty. Now Messina have a bit of a wild history. They've gone in and out of business about 4 or 5 times, believe it or not. Dissolved, reborn, dissolved, resolved. It's what attracted me to the club in the first place. What a history. As far as success, they have been in Serie A. I think it was somewhere around there. 05-06, their best finish, 7th place in Serie A. After that, it was a 17th place and then 20th, and since then it's been a bit of a downhill spiral. Down you go to Serie B again. Now they finished bottom and dissolved into Serie D, forced the way back, but back down to D, and just in C is where we took over after promotion from D and managed to get them up. Okay, without further ado, here is a tactic that got us up from Serie C as an unfancied side, and it's 4-3-3. Aggressive as hell, but we thought, why not? Let's go for it. Plus, when we started, we didn't have any wingers of any repute, so it was the way to go. David Milinkovic sums this up. He's probably the only winger of any quality we had, but it was the only one, and I didn't want to play a lopsided system, so I got hold of him by the scruff of the neck and I retrained him into a central midfielder for Mazzala. Mazzala, winger, a lot of cross attributes there. Took to it really well and had a good solid season. For some reason, Messina, before I got there, signed him for 93,000, blew the whole budget on him, but hey ho. Now in a system like this, there's a few key positions, and they are undoubtedly a couple of wing backs and the forwards around your main goal scoring striker. Now wing backs first, Patini and Fazzi had amazing seasons. In fact, Patini here was player of the season in all of Serie C with the best average rating, and it's not just about assists. When I'm watching this game, I'm watching the stats roll in as we play. Key passes from Patini and Fazzi were regular in double figures. They were really influencing the game higher up the pitch. Patini's season was 19 appearances because he got struck by injury. Still player of the year with only 19 appearances. It shows what he was up to. 7.63. Luckily I had decent backups to help out as well. Now the other 2 key roles, not to say 2 out of the 3 strikers. Now Vukcevic, my main striker, scored 20 goals, but it was largely thanks to his strike partners either side of him and the wing backs supplying him. So I've got a target forward here, Jonathan the Bicep Bitep. Renamed the Bicep because it sounds like Bitep. My chat are geniuses. Didn't score a lot of goals, but what he does do on support, and there will be a video coming out soon about the target forward on support in the Know Your Role series, was with a few PIs asking him to roam and drop wider. He was always in this area, dropping deep to get the ball, quite often like an extra midfielder, occupying their fullback quite a lot and linking up amazingly well with Patini. Them 2 down the left. On the other side we had Fazzi and Adorante, who is on loan from Parma and is a little bit of a class above from the others. Nice double figures all across the board, only 22. But because he had a bit more flair and technical ability, I put him as a deep line forward. So he's floating in and around these areas to link up with Fazzy. Those two and the wing backs supplying you one main striker who is further up. Toyed with him being a poacher. We ended up with an advanced forward. He did the business with 19 in 36 in the league. Something like 27 overall, yeah, 27 overall in 46 games. So if you are going to use this tactic, you want a big meaty target man on one side and a more flair player on the other with an out and out finisher down the middle. A nice anchoring midfielder there, holding position, covering as best he can for the wing backs who are bombing on. This is where it's up to you. I've gone for a Caralero down one side and a Mazzala down the other. You can use a double Caralero, you can use a double Mazzala if you're going a bit more aggressive. But when we get to the team instructions on the left hand side there, you can see it's pretty aggressive already. So in possession, we've even got being more expressive because I wanted them to go for it and shock teams. Now, being a team down in 14th in predictions, teams weren't expecting us to come onto them quite so much. Fairly narrow, focused play through the middle, into space, really good. Lots of space coming for the wing backs down the sides. It's pretty basic stuff in possession, but it really helped. In transition, all we did was counter and counter press. Out of position, we were aggressive. High defensive line, much high line of engagement. Because I've got 3 strikers, I want them to occupy all of the opposition defence, putting them under pressure. Get up, boys. That was horrible, but we've got there. There we go. It looks like the World Cup, but we don't care. We are in Sierra B. Massive result, even though we lost. But overall result checks, alright? The season was class. The season was class. Predicted to finish 14th. We haven't spent a penny. We brought in 3 players on 3 transfers and we've got ourselves up. And curiosity got the better of me. So I thought, will this work in other leagues at similar levels around the world? So I tried it with Paris FC in Ligue 2. Predicted to finish 12th, I think. And after a quick simulation, holding through the season using the tactic, there it is. You can see how everyone's loving playing with each other. Look at the strikers there, and the midfield, and the centre backs. They've managed to finish in 2nd, and I think that means that it does. They get promoted, so they're in League 1 next season using that tactic. I'll have a little look at the strikers, see how they did. Okay, so we've got the target forward, who is Gulavuju, who's actually a winger, but I put him at target forward, then left it to Simi. Scored 11 in 32. Main striker Gory. Yep, he's done the job with 21 in 35. And you've got your deep line forward here brilliantly called Laura. Big Laura. Scores 14 in 36. Did the wing backs contribute? Hannin? Yes, they did. 7.78. Just like I said, 13 assists, 32 appearances. So a big 7.78 from the left. And on the right hand side, a 7.53. So you can see they are absolutely vital. But it looks like it does do the business if you've got the right players to use. Back to Messina, we will be on Twitch this Christmas week with a couple of streams, hopefully, if not definitely the week after. We're in Sierra B and it's a lot tougher, I won't lie to you. And for reasons best known to myself, the formation changed a bit. I changed it. I had a double false 9 at one point, so I had these 2 boys as double false 9s because I brought them in and they were a class above. He's on loan from Inter, for God's sake, and the other lad is on loan from Empoli, so they're a class above. So I've kind of shoehorned them in, binned off the bicep, and it hasn't really worked. We're struggling down in 15th after only 6 or 7 matches, so I need to make some tweaks, make some changes, and then we'll see if we can rebirth Messina. So that tactic isn't foolproof. You're going to have some issues now and again. I did change too much, I think. I'm going to stick to the basics, get back to the target forward, things like that. But as we saw with Paris, it can work at a higher level than Sierra Chi, so I'm going back to it.